I had 18 years as a custodian in schools, and almost had my degree, but I got the hell out of there because of Vietnam War and all that. But I cleaned apartments for landlords in the ghetto area, and there was this one guy that I got to know pretty well. We called him Old John. He was a piano player, and yes, ma'am. Well, if I can do it. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Anyway, so uh, the landlord was a friend of mine, and he said that John had died. He'd found him sitting up on his toilet. Apparently, he had a heart attack while he was trying to go to the bathroom. But this is called The Invisible Keys. It's a favorite of mine. I got a number of them that are blues or jazz, and this is one. Dead. Old John, premier piano player, found sitting up on his toilet after 3 days not answering his bell. Yellowing sheet music, old records, unpaid bills piled on his dresser. Clock radio blaring the latest hits, the morning news. Government checks stuffed in the mailbox, unclaimed. No relatives, no claims for his things. Landlord to arrange his funeral. Part 2. Spot on the sax. He's on his knees making that thing scream. Just above the heads of the dancers who are humping it. Sea of heads jumping in the dark. Smoke haze up in the lights, and now it's John's turn. Bass thumping, raw nerves, underground raging river. He lights into those high keys, staccato. Fingers flying faster and faster. Sweat dripping off his eyebrows. Crashing cymbals and snares and hi-hat clanging. And now that guitar coming in, sweet and low, trying to take it. Even the bouncers at the door look in. The dancers stop dead to watch or collapse into their seats exhausted. Take it, babe. That guitar out front, all alone, burning away sadness and anger, unpaid bills and careless loves, burning a bright new fire to get them all to that coming dawn, burning all desire away, leaving them quiet, breathing softly at last. Part 3. Somewhere that old tune's floating up in a dingy hallway, one bare bulb hanging, and those keys are rolling, waves under fast fingers. And 2 floors up, a woman sobs alone on rumpled sheets, shattered glass on the floor, picture on her pillow, 2 lovers in white with a red rose. Hearing those notes again, she'll rise and look out at the empty street. Street lights going off in the lavender dawn, and she'll remember an embrace, a tender moment in a room like this. And sighing, wipe her eyes and fix her hair. Who knows who might turn up today, toes still tapping to that old song. Okay. That was an old favorite. I wrote it in the 80s. Oh, sure, that'd be better, I think. I'm awfully, what would you call it? Woozy on my feet. It's called old man syndrome. Is that close enough, Barb? Is that close enough? Loud enough? Okay. Barb helped tell my book. She's ferocious when it is as an editor. You're damn right it is. She's the best. Well, Scott's pretty damn good too. Okay, this is for my that I wrote for my son Will. All three of my kids were born of cesarean section, and Will was the youngest. Healthy, but I was there at the first two. They wouldn't let me go in the birthing room because husbands weren't allowed to do that back in the 70s and in early 80s. But Will came a little bit later, and so I was in there and I got to see it and realized what my wife Susie had gone through. So, Will, I wrote this on the pillow while Sue was lying flat, exhausted. Today, overcast, but promising spring. Springy step on the green earth. Open the door. Your time is now. The passage isn't simple, but for those who will come, comes. What your father and mother suffered, what you suffered, is past. No promises. Wake. The heart has a proper place. If you'd be clear, be calm. Child, young man, hard laborer, sage, old fool, make it what you will to make it well. Your hands for tender touch, your ear and eye for compassion. We'll see and hear what's needed. Freely bend your will. Okay, I'll do one or two more. My best friends as a child was the Breidenfield family. Their youngest was Billy, and he had ALS. And that family was heroic. They got a nurse for him in the bed, and towards the end, it was the other kids in the family would take, or grown kids, would take turns 12-hour shifts, keeping track of him. And one time when I was over there, because Billy, he liked me because I was a rock and roll fan, and he loved the Clash. But anyways, for Billy, he asked me for a prayer because he was near the end and he knew it. When they got him a little thing that he could type up to say things back to his family when they asked something of him, his brother got on there and he typed back, "Fuck you." It was so funny. But that was the way that family was. They're great people. Anyways, this is my prayer for Billy. Not so much what we want. Light comes in, passing thought. In touching hands, in quiet watching, clouds pass by, moon and sky. Eyes must open, mind be calm. Kind as kin, this dream. The end, certain as a baby's cry. The babe, the boy, the strapping man, sprang through a kiss. Matter less than how we rest, awake in the dream, and see who needs our touch, our eyes, and know what can and can't be done. Light pierces the raindrop, suspended for its brief moment, ornament and complement to the oak bud's tip. And I think I'll end with the rhododendron because that's my poem that I do for everybody. I've been doing this one since about 1997, something like that. The rhododendron. This is for Susie, and the quote at the top is, "Let's be famous lovers." It's from an earlier poem that I wrote for her, where the last line was, "Let's be famous lovers." Sunlight through an open door. Crimson blooms swelling to burst. Who can say what love is? You take a friend in hand and roar down blind road after blind road. wandering through private rooms in each other's hearts, sailing through whole histories of pain and rage to find a quiet morning, dew on the laurel leaves. Love is not in the eye, in the heart, in the entryways and hot spots of flesh, in heavy breathing. Love cannot be contained in soft areas, whispered at dawn. It is neither two together nor apart. The eye is in the hand, the heart in the eye. The song exhaled and inhaled, and suddenly your dreams fill rooms where others pace and sing softly of what you were. Oh, love, steady rain on the city of the dead, teardrop on a granite peak, clear day, angel ghosts circling the flowering black oak in every long gone night full of thunder, sunlight through an open door, crimson blooms swelling to burst. And thank you. I love that poem. Um, I'm going to go back to the Bradfield family. This is one that ended at the beginning. John Bradfield was a guy that would turn up for any sort of thing to help my senior class do well. We went through 50 different, every 10 years or 5 years, reunions, and invariably he would find ways to bring, what did you call it? Anyways, jars that he would steal flowers out of other people's gardens and he'd put them in there and they'd be on every table. But yeah, the way some restaurants do. Johnny was something. So this is the end at the beginning for Johnny B. He finally came down with the family disease too. And this was my elegy for him that I read at his funeral, or remembrance service, I guess they would call it. Crisp, bright August sunshine, light breezes in the pines and birches. I pass over the decades we shared, the agonies and wild highs of a lifetime. Struggle with the face in the mirror, long days and light nights, hard labor and lost hopes. The days passing like clouds, and though the tale is long, one returns at last to the beginning, where hope and despair are not yet the measures of the heart. Wild boys racing into the deep country on fast wheels, voyageurs paddling upstream to the deep woods where the ruined cabin, its roof fallen in, gave us dreams of other lives gone this way. Imagining their own escapes, and we, naked in moonlight, the juice of stolen raspberries on our chins, howling with wine and cigarettes, little saw nor cared what lay ahead. Our own cabin fires warmed us against winter winds. We raised a glass in the brief light. Time and the world would bend us soon enough. Yet these days define the fires that made us what we are and were. The grief is measureless, so deep that words cannot fully tell the tale. Yet this is what we were, what makes us still, even beyond the grave. Thanks.